Hi, this is the SLRPcast broadcast podcast. I'm Trevor Franz, and yep,
Hey, I'm Eric Went on the Slurp thing.
the Slurp thing.
I wish I had a straw.
I know. That's what I was thinking. We need some
What
slushies,
sluppies,
sluppies,
slush puppies.
slush puppies.
It's a
Um,
mixture of the two.
this is the SLRPcast broadcast. Whoa. Um, we are going to be talking about VR today, like the Oculus Rift, and they recently announced Project Morpheus. And just kind of our thoughts on it and the viability of it and some recent certain events about it. Um, so Eric, I know you just wrote a little editorial thingy for us
It was
recently.
very little.
It was nice though. It had some good
It,
points.
uh, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that people could probably sense that I did not really care for the idea of strapping on a goofy visor to play video games. I may have been a little bit negative, but yeah,
Just a little.
yeah. I don't know. I haven't tried it, so I guess I shouldn't. You know, I mean, I remember trying it at Disney World and thinking how lame it was, but then again, they were using technology from probably like 1990 or something like that in their theme parks in 2008. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I feel like maybe I'm sounding like an old person being like, this is a fad, and
Oh, these old new young kids with all their stupid stuff.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna. I don't know. I mean, in that article, I was kind of comparing it to 3D TVs, and those were supposed to be the next big thing. And I think people just realized at some point, I don't want to put glasses on to watch a movie with the family, and then, if you have kids, I don't want, to pay $50 or whatever it was to replace a pair of glasses every time it breaks.
Yeah, I think the money is a big thing because I mean, just adding that extra cost, especially with 3D TVs, that you had these $100 glasses that you had to buy alongside your $3,000 TV, especially if you wanted to get one that was really nice. That was always annoying.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, for someone like me who wears glasses, the last thing I want to do is put another pair of glasses on over my
Yeah, that's always
glasses.
fun.
I mean, maybe if I could get like some prescription 3D glasses.
That would definitely cheapen it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think like even when I get suckered into going to a 3D movie, I'm always thinking, man, it'd be nice to have prescription 3D lenses, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, right now, I mean, obviously the jury's still out, but in my personal opinion, I feel like it's a gimmick. And like I said in that article, I mean, CSS, geez, we're not coding a website. CES, this last year didn't have any 3D TVs that were really being touted around. So I think it's finally safe to say that that fad is dead.
Yeah, and I think, oh gosh, I had a point. Yeah, but you see a lot of excitement with these kind of things, to where you have a lot of people excited about, oh look, we got 3D stuff at like these conferences. Usually that only seems to happen once though, but because like with GDC, I think that just happened now. There was a lot of different stuff that was going on with that, and
Uh, yeah,
with
yeah.
the VR, I mean, not the 3D TVs.
Well, yeah, with Sony's announcement, that probably would kind of and put it back in the forefront, I guess. We'd known about the Oculus Rift for a while. But,
Yeah. Well, and then one of the interesting things is, I guess I didn't really pay attention too much with the 3D TVs, but there was a lot of interesting programming talk with the Oculus Rift and VR stuff. It wasn't GDC, but I don't remember where it was. But they were talking about doing like one of the specific articles I can remember was talking about how to not make people sick when they were using the VR. 'Cause I feel like that was something you didn't really see with the 3D TVs. It wasn't something that just people didn't talk about. It was they weren't that excited about it because it was something that was. kind of had been explored more. But
Yeah, I mean, I think there's certain instances where things are really cool. I mean, like 3D TV. I remember when Sony released that 3D TV that was kind of specific to the PS4, and you could, put 3D glasses on and play a two-player game, and one person would see their screen and the other person would see their screen on the same screen, which was really kind of a cool idea. Uh, but I mean, I know there's some people. I mean, that 3D just doesn't work on. I mean, I think I might be one of them because like I go to these movies and it just seems blurry to me. Like I don't know if my brain is broken or what, but yeah, I don't know. And I think the same with the VR. It's like it could be. I think specific instances it could be great, but I mean, you as a social, I don't know, thing, it's not going to be social. That's the thing. It's very antisocial. I put this visor on over my face. I mean, if my wife walked into the room while I had this visor on and I'm playing a video game, I mean, most of the time she probably already thinks I'm zoned out with just the TV, let alone not being able to see anything. Like, you've totally alienated yourself from the room. But maybe that's the experience you're looking for. I don't know.
it just definitely seemed that thing of the awkward person where you're kind of putting a bag over your head almost away, just like I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, you did bring in a point up that I wanted to mention though, was with integration though, because the problem is not a lot of people are going to get these things because they're expensive, they're kind of and they're a new weird thing, and see the problem we don't see a lot of development with these things is because I mean because everybody has them. The one benefit that like Microsoft has with the Xbox One is they bundled all their systems with the Kinect. The Kinect is an integral part of that system. And so since everybody has an Xbox One has them, they can develop for it. Whereas the PS4, they dropped that camera. And so not many people are going to have those, especially with their supply shortages they have right now. And where they can't really develop with that thing very reliably. And so with like these Oculus Rift things, unless they would like, or the VR things, they can't really develop for these things
Project Morpheus.
Yeah, and Project Morpheus.
That's
Unless Sony would...
talking PS4, I guess.
If you're talking PS4. Or PS5, I guess. I don't know how soon they're going to release this thing. But if Sony would decide to bundle those Project Morpheus, whatever they end up calling it, with the PS5.
Did you just say PS5?
PS5.
Yeah, that's not, that. You've got to be kidding me. That's like what, like 7 years from now? Like I'm pretty sure they're gonna.
Hey, this stuff is all far from perfection, though.
Yeah,
this is all development phase, though. I mean,
they're gonna release it with one game. And then that's the only game that's ever going to get sold for Project Morpheus. Like
I can see that, yeah. I mean, if it's not become obvious, I'm rather negative about the VR thing too because it is very gimmicky. It's kind of one of those cool things that maybe like 15 years down the line, maybe it could turn into something where people are like, hey, look what we messed with there, and now look what we can do now with this, and actually make it like a viable part of gaming. But as for right now, it's something that's it's not gonna be supported. It's gonna be kind of cool for those people who like it, but I mean, it won't be supported enough to be a good product. Just like those 3D things, you saw a few games. I know Batman Arkham Asylum, I believe, did some stuff with the 3D. Yeah, I don't think that was even
one of the kill zones on the PS3 was supposed to be 3D. And the other thing is, I think like the VR, it might be well suited for a certain like experience. Like I said before, I mean, it may like exploring a world like that would be cool. But I don't think a combat game is something I want to play inside of this virtual reality, where you're turning your head and you're trying to aim a gun with a controller. I mean, maybe if they figure out a way that you're holding an actual gun, I guess. But I don't see how it's going to be viable to be like moving your head around trying to shoot with a controller, and then I could see like a world where you're exploring and you're just kind of traveling through this thing and looking around like that could be kind of fun or kind of cool to something like that. But I don't know, especially like competitive multiplayer. It just seems like stuff like that relies on your thumb dexterity so much that waving your head around may not be the best choice.
No, yeah, and I definitely see that. I've always thought of the Star Trek holodeck programs. It's just like I don't understand the purpose of putting these putting money into these things that are it it seems so old tech-y kind of
Yeah.
things because it's just like basically I mean you're kind of just putting like screens in front of your eyes where they kind of do different stuff and it's I mean I'm sure it's a lot more technically advanced than that, but it doesn't seem as cool as some of the things that seem like should be out of reach. But yeah,
I mean,
um,
I'm sure there's some rich people that are going to buy it right away.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
They're going to buy 5 of them.
um, I guess one thing we should bring up definitely the Facebook recent Facebook acquisition of
Yeah,
the VR.
cancel your Oculus Rift pre-orders right now.
I know I was very disappointed in it. I would have much rather seen it go to I don't know I would say I wouldn't say Google, but I'd rather see it in the hands of Valve, just because I feel like it would have been more supported if it was Valve.
I mean, here, to be honest, to me, like my first gut reaction was, okay, Zuckerberg is feeling out of touch with the generation that's passing him by and not using Facebook, and he's like, let's buy this into this VR thing because that'll be cool. That's the future, right? But I mean, when you really think about it and you try to be honest with it and play devil's advocate a little bit, it might not be the worst thing because Facebook has like how many trillions of dollars
That is very true. It'll
It-
have, unless it becomes an absolute cash cow, it will have the money support it needs. It will get through to production.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have the greatest Candy Crush experience ever.
Oh man,
Microtransactions just like popping up here in the corner of your eye while you're playing Candy Crush.
oh, that depresses me so much.
No, it should
To see
excite
if-
you. It'll be delicious.
Yeah, oh, gosh, I can definitely see that. No, yeah, it is nice to see it in the hands of if nothing else, a very rich investor in the product. However, it feels like also it's in the hands of somebody who's definitely going to use it for those kind of cash grab things, those kind of really gimmicky things. It's not going to use it to any sort of like deeper meaning to it. Well,
Yeah.
well,
Well, you just
sorry
lost your
about
camera.
I grabbed the cord from.
The SLRPcast will return in 5, 4.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah.
I mean, this is our inaugural.
Yeah, you can't blame us too much for the
It's
kind of weirdness. I mean, I'm working off an Xbox 360 camera. You can't blame me too much. Hopefully. Yes, hopefully we'll be all in HD soon enough. Not just half of us.
once you buy that MacBook, Trevor, you'll
Yeah, I think I'll get a $500 webcam before I do that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the Facebook acquisition is acquisition. I think it'll maybe be good. I don't know. I don't know if that means Facebook is getting. It's weird to think Facebook getting into hardware, although I guess they've tried with the phone. They had a Facebook phone for a while, but this seems very. That might seem software orientated, where this seems very hardware orientated.
It seems so off the wall, honestly. It's like a social thing that buys. Which I mean, I guess you see those kind of companies that have all sorts. I think Yamaha does drums. They do motorcycles. They do TVs. I'm pretty sure. You have all sorts of things like that.
It's so weird though for me to hear you compare Facebook to Yamaha. I mean, Yamaha's been around forever, and Facebook is like made by some snotty.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that it's not out of the question. I mean,
No, they're gonna make. I can't wait to have my Facebook coffee pot on my kitchen counter.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't doubt it, but no. I would have liked to see it go into hands of Google. Google, of course. I mean, I'm a big Google guy, so I mean,
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, Google, what if it's the thing, if it's going to be the next thing, they're going to make their own. They aren't
that's
going to.
true.
They're not going to.
That's very true.
They're not going to buy out a company. So, you your wishes may still come true. I mean, I'm sure. I don't know. I just time will tell. Maybe we'll all eat a big crow pie, but at this point, it just all seems kind of silly.
Well, what do you think about like Project Morpheus? I I honestly, especially with like Facebook acquiring that, I feel like that was a big thing for Project Morpheus. I think Project Morpheus has a chance now because I think and that was one thing I was going to mention. You see a lot that Notch said like he was really excited about Oculus Rift, and then the instant Facebook acquired to it, he was like, nope, not going to do it. So I think you'll honestly see a lot of that. You'll see a lot more of those like mobile kind of games, the little cash grabby ones, like Angry Birds and all those. Go for more Facebook's Oculus Rift now. Whereas I feel like Sony might have it probably honestly may mainly be like its first party title. Maybe Killzone, the next one will have some VR support.
No, it's going to be Africa. That's what I want to see with Project Morpheus is Africa.
I don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Remember that game Africa where you could
No, I don't.
oh man, I thought it was a Sony like own like studio game. Like it was like this small little like I mean it didn't get any advertising, but you could like go to Africa and take pictures of animals in the safari.
Was this like last gen or was this like?
It was on the PS3.
I don't remember this at all.
You should look it up.
I could see that though, because yeah, like you said, I mean it definitely seems more geared towards like a more exploratory, a slower paced kind of game rather than a rapid paced combat game. And I can see that a lot, especially because if they wouldn't want to stake their entirety of Killzone on it, because I mean I'm sure it would change the gameplay experience immensely. And Killzone is kind of one of PS4's or PlayStation's multiplayer games. I assume that would change things up, and nobody would want to play it because nobody's used to it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I could definitely see, definitely see.
See, check it out, Africa, released.
Oh man.
Let's see, 2008 in Japan and 2009 of October, North America. But yeah, it's spelled with a K though. Just
fancy stuff. It's artsy.
it was made by Rhino Studios, I guess. So never mind. All right, that's not important. Whoa, I just entered a warp.
Oh man. Oh no.
That's bad. Anyways, there we go. Yeah. I mean, you could see that, and then they could microtransaction you for better camera lenses.
Do you want a 50 milliliter lens?
Yeah. Or do you want Instagrammy filters for 99 cents each? Oh, and now you can share it on Facebook because sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
So yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna sing for us now. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not ready to shell out the money for it, but I've been convinced to buy stupider things. So hopefully this will be one of those stupider things.
Yeah, I think if it ends up being successful, it'll do kind of a Kinect kind of deal, to where it's not great first time around, and the second time around it's better. But I honestly don't see it doing that.
Maybe it'll take off in like senior citizens' homes like the Wii did.
That'd be dangerous.
Yeah, you got all these like old people on walkers walking into each other with their VR. Like, I'm much younger in this world.
Oh, that got bad.
Sorry, that was mean. But yeah, I don't know. You wonder because I mean I don't think, but I say that because I don't think people expected the Wii to take off in
No, yeah.
like the in the pockets that it did. So here again is a new technology that seems gimmicky. Uh, who knows where it'll find its home
Hmm.
or audience, I should say.
Hmm. Either way.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm done making fun of senior citizens now.
No more keys to things. It's okay. We're all right now. Um.
But I think, yeah, I mean, I think we hit about everything going on with that right now. I'm not.
I think we had pretty much everything we wanted to talk about with this.
So people should like leave comments and ask us questions. If you got a topic, maybe they want to like have us talk about next week.
Yeah, if you got ideas, send them to us, and we'll consider them briefly before rejecting them. Maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. Unless it's about Goat Simulator.
Then we'll definitely talk about it. We like Goat Simulator.
Yeah. Check out that trailer we put on the website today.
Yeah.
That looks awesome next week. But yeah, I think that's it then, right?
Yeah, I think
Am I done here?
wrap it up right now. We'll stop torturing you, Rick.
Okay, thanks. All right, goodbye, people of Earth. This is fun.
Well, yeah, we'll see you next week. We'll determine a topic then.
And outro music goes here.
Yeah,
Right?
outro music. And